Black, British, in business and proud is the only study in the UK that considers the complete entrepreneurial life cycle for Black business owners in Britain. From ideation to a sustainable business model, the preceding analysis that informs this report is shaped by the voices of more than 800 Black people in Britain, consisting of students, employees, business owners and established entrepreneurs from social enterprise, B2B and B2C industries.
For me, it wasn't a case of us getting involved in this research piece. It was something that we always wanted to do. So when Lloyds approached us, it was basically the stars aligning and a way for us to really action, get the needs down of what our community wanted, and then get those actions committed to.
One of the key driving factors for contributing and getting involved with this research report was that I wanted to support and contribute to a lasting legacy piece. I really feel that this report will help uncover some significant challenges that the Black community are experiencing as it relates to developing and scaling their businesses.
At Lloyds, we have for a while now been striving to create a really fully inclusive environment, particularly for all our colleagues and customers and communities. In July, in response to the murder of George Floyd, we launched the Race Action Plan, which really for us is a seminal moment because it was a statement of intent that as an organization, we wanted to make sure we were clear that we stand against racism and we're taking steps to drive sustainable change.
So we know there are barriers. For example, we know that Black businesses are less likely to get access to funding or to equity or venture capital. And so what better way to find out what those barriers were and what we needed to do about it than to ask them directly. And so the research has been directed at Black business leaders for them to help us understand what they need to be successful. And so the thing that I was really encouraged by from the report was that something like 60% of respondents were aged 40 or less, and an incredible 30% had set up their business in the last 12 months. So I think we've got this great opportunity, a marriage made in heaven potentially, where we've got a situation where there is a huge amount of disruption in the UK economy, and where we've got clearly a strong Black entrepreneurial spirit.
There wasn't too many surprising findings in the research. Again, being an entrepreneur with over 25 years experience, I've seen the highs, the lows, the good, the bad, and the indifferent within the community. And in some cases, I've had to be able to navigate some of those challenges myself.
What's different here is that now we've made a metric of that and we can prove it as evidence that this is what we've been saying for years, and now we can finally take those steps and actions that we want in order to change that.
Biggest one, which is probably more to do with how people felt when they were engaging financial organization, which was around this need that they needed to project themselves to be something different than they were to be able to engage the financial organization, which for me was absolutely dropping, because I just didn't anticipate that that would be an issue when somebody goes in to a financial organization and they needed to feel that they had to dress for the occasion.
I found it difficult and quite frankly disappointing when I read the stat that virtually 1 in 6, 1 in 7 Black business leaders wouldn't look to a bank for funding, but wouldn't look to a bank for advice. And equally, something like 50% of respondents said that they had experienced racism. And actually, if you're a female Black entrepreneur, it feels like there is a double challenge around being Black and female as well. I mean, there were some positive bits of feedback around relationships with bank, but on the whole, these stats, it's a real stark reminder that we still have such a long way to go to break down barriers and to a challenge privilege in UK society, and I'm hoping that that's what this report is going to be a springboard for.
It's time for banks and all those organizations to really put their money where their mouth is and put that into tangible outcomes. So the things that Black entrepreneurs have said, they want mentoring, they want support networks, they want their community organizations to be supported. We want to see, money going into educational systems. We want to see safe space environments created for Black entrepreneurs to go out, network and learn and feel comfortable doing so. And I believe as Lloyds is the partner of this, it's their responsibility to take a forefront in doing that and ensure that this is not just another, diversity initiative.
Following the findings from the report, I think it was going to be really important for banks and institutions to begin creating new and innovative ways of working with the Black community.
I think that Lloyds, actually not just Lloyds, all the banks and industry more broadly needs to tackle this challenge around trust for Black business leaders. On the back of the research that we've done, we've come up with some findings. Those have been discussed and agreed with our Black Business Advisory Committee led by Claudine Reid. And on the back of that, we've created a 10-point action plan. And I'm really hoping that that action plan is going to be a springboard for change, where we can create a better environment for Black entrepreneurs to flourish.
I think we have an opportunity to really work closer with Black businesses and Black entrepreneurs. And the way I think that could work really successfully is the mentoring element of the recommendation, because that for me allows for a two-way learning experience and one that hopefully also benefits the Black business owner significantly. My hope for this report to make a lasting legacy broadly is all financial organizations pick it up, read about the Black business and entrepreneurs experience, understand the systemic barriers that are in their way to success, but then be an active player in this space and take action. Look internally and review the processes and the policies they have in place in terms of supporting businesses, and ask themselves really critical questions.
It's so important for Black people, the Black community, and for Black entrepreneurs to feel comfortable voicing their opinions outside of the community. So the lasting impact I'd really like to see is that for Black entrepreneurs to know that it's okay to take part in these surveys, that, it doesn't mean that you are being added to just another data list, that you're actually being listened to. And in doing that, it helps to create something that can be truly meaningful to what we want to do and the changes that we want to see.
Over the next few years, in terms of the development of the report, I think it will be really good to track progress for business owners and entrepreneurs at different stages of their journey, and also to track the progress in terms of developing the learning that the bank has actually distilled across its whole network, across its whole suite of services, and really demonstrating whether or not there has been transformation taking place.
Next year, I'd like to see the report develop in a way that we start looking at more intersectional communities. We touched on it in this report because we obviously recognize that the Black community isn't, monolith. We don't all have one thought. We don't think all the same way. We don't all have the same feelings about things. And definitely discrimination doesn't affect all of us in the exact same way.
Even more importantly, that the Black entrepreneurs and communities can feel the difference and they can talk to that by making sure, again, we're asking the same critical questions we've asked them this time, and hopefully they keep on telling us we're improving, and where we have issues, we can quickly respond to it when we're doing something like this on an annual basis.
And we're going to continue to do our research in 2022 and 2023 as well, for two reasons. The first one is we need to make sure that the changes that we're making are having the desired effect. And secondly, in recognition that there will be more challenges that we unearth, we need to face into that and work out how we can strengthen our plan going forward.
Download the report today at blackbusinessnetwork.online/BBIBP report. Brought to you by Black Business Network in partnership with Lloyds Bank.